August 11, 2024 is the date I did this particular recording that I'll be sharing with you today. Mirror Chat is the title I gave it. Interested? Okay, so when I listened to it, I was like, girl, you were a disciplinarian. I was calling myself out on doing too much when it was not really necessary and going off board in terms of my originality. And it was very interesting for me to realize that something was wrong and I had to call myself out. And I feel like this happens to most of us most of the time because you spend most of the time with yourself more than anybody. You know yourself better than anybody. When to be accountable to things where you see for do and you know yourself. But I don't know, I feel like it really is hard for one to call themselves out on certain things that they should really own up to. It's really hard for us to keep ourselves accountable. Honestly, it is hard. But I see myself doing that in this audio, and there might be a thing or two you can learn from this audio. So it's more of like me having a mirror chat with myself about something I was calling myself out on. I was being a disciplinarian, in this particular audio with myself. And I loved my energy because I was like, girl, you were killing it. Yeah, because nobody would have come out and tell me all these things because nobody really gets it the way I do. Now maybe you feel the whole cringe of not, being me and trying to do too much and doing something else, and nobody would have felt that way and brought such up to me. But I felt it, I knew what was going on, and I was in the best position to be accountable to myself. So I learned accountability with myself that day, and honestly, even in my present life like that, I am still loving how I get so comfortable with being accountable with myself about my life. It's cringy, but it's a very good thing because only you know yourself better, and you are the best person to get into that position to call yourself out on certain things that, in your life like that, you told yourself things like this should happen like this, but it's not happening like that. It's not happening rather like that. So if you get comfortable in taking responsibility of the things you said you should do for yourself and how you should do it, and then making amends and taking it seriously that you owe yourself something, like you know yourself better, and if there's anybody that's going to change your life, it's going to be you. So yeah, there must be something you can take from this audio. So take your time and feel free to like, share, subscribe after listening, and have fun. I am your host Lee, and this is the Everything Not Perfect podcast. Enjoy. Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of the Everything Not Perfect podcast, and I am your host Lee. So basically today I want to have a conversation about the mind shifts that I'm experiencing right now. So honestly, I've been going through this whole back and forth about my eye contact days. It's like I'm trying so hard to really be, I don't know if it's professionalism I'm looking for or perfectionism. I don't know what's even best for me right now. I don't know what's even okay, this is good, you are good for me. So I feel like because I've not yet defined that for myself, even when I try today and do not try the next day, it seems like I have catered in my mind subconsciously what good is to me. So when things don't happen the way I feel like my subconscious has been telling me, like this is what good is like for you, it makes me feel like I have not yet achieved anything. And this is what I want to talk about today. So basically, I've been on this whole journey of perfecting my craft, which is a very good thing, by the way. And just developing this communicative skill that I feel like will be super beneficial for my life. It will bring me more opportunities, and it's definitely making me a better person already. And I love the way I feel and the way it makes me feel. In totality, I just love the glow it adds to my life in general, right? So I thought of it this way: okay, if this particular thing is something that makes me feel good, it's something that's going to give me more opportunities in the outside world like that, why can't I just sharpen the skill and make it something that I can really just do anyhow, anywhere, without hesitating? Which is a very good idea, by the way. So that's why I've been hard on myself for some reason. When I don't get things right the way I feel like I should get it right some days, and I'm like all over the place in my mind, like, girl, why are you acting this way? Why is things not looking like you are practicing? And that in itself leaves me in a position of asking myself certain questions, like, is this thing worth it? Is it even worth it that I can go all this way to learn certain things about this particular thing, and then I'm at some point now it seems like I'm not learning anything? Being in that position where I question myself is very, very hard for me, because it seems like I wrap my worth around this whole journey of being productive with my communication skills. And that's not a good way for me to really go about this. So I've come to realize, because the way I pressure myself on this whole idea of speaking well, communicating my thoughts well, it's a very good thing for me to actually have this pressure on myself. But come to think of it, girl, this is not your language per se. You understand? You were not born and you met people speaking like this all your life, right? You are trying, you are learning. Give yourself that grace when you're not getting it right, and don't be hard on yourself. That's one thing I want to tell myself right now. And away from that, I have really come far. Come to think of it, before now I really couldn't even articulate my thoughts like that, but now I can articulate my thoughts. Girl, that's a plus. Why do you always have to be hard on yourself? Why do you always have to make it seem like if you don't get it right today, then that means all the other days that you have been getting it right doesn't count? It doesn't have to mean that way. Some days it will probably, there are some problems away from you trying to practice that affected your practicing session, that probably made you to feel like you never really delivered like that, or your mind was not in the right place. Probably you were not about just coming here to deliver your thoughts. Probably you're about looking good, talking well, talking in this exact way, talking as if you're this particular person. Because honestly, girl, I watch you, I see how you be admiring people on the mirror, having this way they talk, this way they speak, this way they articulate themselves, and trust me, I feel you want to do like them, but you are not them, right? You learn from them and that's it, but you are not them. The way you come and implement what you learn from them should not be the same. And I feel like it's when you try to do like them, there comes the disconnect within yourself like that, because it's so obvious that I sometimes feel disconnected within myself when I'm trying to act like somebody else. It's obvious. The way I speak, the way I think about things, the way sometimes I even ask myself, why am I taking so long to answer this question? Why should you not take so long to answer that question if that's what you have in your mind? I know, of course, you should have ways to, cheap out the way you say things, because, of course, the time span is very short. People have to go about their own business, doing their own things like that. But honestly, girl, if you have more to say, then say it. You don't have to be killing yourself like that. You naturally learn to reduce the length of words you say for certain things, just for you to elaborate what you mean. You will learn gradually, but if you're not there yet, and you know that you are learning to get there, don't be hard on yourself if you're not getting there that particular day that you feel like, oh, you want to get there like that. It doesn't work like that, because it makes me to feel like I have not been doing anything. And that was how I felt yesterday. I asked myself this question: girl, do you really feel like you can start this podcast? You struggled today with the conversation you were having with yourself. What makes you think that you can start your podcast? How can I feel that way and think that way and put myself in such position of accumulating my worth, or gathering my worth and putting it in that box of girl, today was how you performed. This was how you performed today. So because of how you performed today, I don't think you are ready for the podcast. Why must I tell myself that, how can I tell myself that, Paulina, are you supposed to tell yourself that? But I get you. You want the best out of yourself. You want the best out of this. But guess what? You putting yourself down is not going to give you that ultimate best that you want. And you having the same result all the time is not how it works. It's not how it works. And if you want to have the same results all the time, then put your mind in the right place. I think that my mind sometimes is about so many other things. So now when I come to deliver, it's like I'm trying to deliver based on that so many other things that my mind is on. That's sometimes not about me actually delivering my message. It might be about me trying to look good, me trying to be articulate. Because what's this about? What's this about? This is very good. It makes you seem as if you're put together and all that stuff. But honestly, naturally, I speak fast. And I get my thoughts across. And when I speak fast, I don't even think about my English. I don't even consider what I'm saying. I just know I'm saying things that are right. I just know my English is all the way good. But when I speak slowly, I first of all consider my English. I consider my tone of voice. That's a lot for me to be considering now when I have serious things I want to transfer to people. I just let them know that this is what's going on in my head and it's what they need to know. So I think this is like a high time goal for me. Like, what's it called? It's high time I call myself out on this, that girl, your originality is very important for this podcast to work. Your originality is important for you to have consistency. If you are not original, you see yourself starting something today and you want to keep to it. Imagine now you are trying to put things together. Okay, yes, studying is very important. I feel like when I study what I'm going to tell people, it makes it more put together, which is so important because I can be all over the place like that. But don't study to the point that you are losing your originality. You have to see things from the way it is to your own side of like the life story that you're giving to people. You're not going to just be giving people information about extra things. When you relate to people, you know how relating be like. When you relate to people, that's the place a bond is built. A very stronger one is built. So you don't have to be trying to like do too much. Please, I beg. I have had enough of me doing too much, which is super important, by the way. It's not like I've been doing bad for myself, but do too much and consider your originality. Do too much and consider how you feel. When you say things, feel the things you say. Like, I have been trying my best to get to this point. I love what I'm doing right now. I am feeling what I'm saying. I'm not just like, for me, the mirror is like that just for me to see that I have a blue shirt and I have this this white thing on the shirt like that. That's what the mirror is helping me to do. But I'm not focusing on the mirror. It's not about how much I look at the mirror. Like, I can watch over here and then look at the mirror again, and then I can see, like, I don't want the mirror to be a distraction from things I'm saying. And I've noticed that the mirror is making me distracted. And you are not for that. You are to help me actually see myself being in the, that it's like I'm going to be having the phone in front of me now and I want to be looking at people like that, with that's contact of like the eye contact thingy. It's for me to be able to like keep an eye contact so that people can understand that I'm talking to them. But that doesn't mean that this has to be a problem. Why does this whole thing have to be a problem for me? What's the for all the times you've made me to feel like you are the problem. You're not the problem. Thank you you've been helping me, but I think it's my mindset, and I'm now in a position of like, girl, you can do it. I love you. This is where we wanted to be. I'm happy I had to take out this frustration out of myself like that, upon myself again like that. Oof, I feel good, I feel new, but I feel like the last podcast I watched helped a whole lot because I saw how that young man was struggling with English. And honestly, some people away from this part of the country like that, of the part of the world, why do I mistake like part of the country and part of the world? Away from this part of the world, there are other people that struggle as well with English. Not everybody's English is as smooth or clean or polished like as you think. Oh, that's what good English is. No, Paulina, no. Everybody's trying. In some countries, like, people never really grew up learning English. It was more about their native language. Like the countries are in common, like the language, and are more their own self. Because of now, they have to go study to another country. They have to now be developing English as a language. And of course, when you're there around people anywhere you get, they speak. Now, so they speak. So don't put the pressure on yourself. Damn it, girl. I love you. It's very good that the podcast never really started anytime like sooner before now, because I would have lost myself. I think one step at a time, I keep on finding myself. Everything is really not perfect in my life. And I'm learning to understand that it doesn't have to be perfect. But even these imperfections have a very beautiful way to help us make us feel like this is who we are. Sometimes we just need to accept it. Sometimes we just need to polish it the more. That doesn't mean because it's not perfect and there's nothing to do about it. I was not perfect when I was coming up with the whole idea of speaking English, but that doesn't mean it was impossible for me to learn it. I put the effort. I do it and I know say I can able for do or for lead me into like grasping the skill in the way I want it and the way I'm actually doing it right now. And I know that I can do more, but that doesn't mean I should kill this particular spirit I have within me, this particular flow and fluency that I have already within me. That doesn't mean I should trash it and make it seem like it's nothing just because I'm not there yet, or to wherever I feel like I should be in terms of all this whole English speaking thingy. But I'm here. And that is important. And it was not perfect. But guess what? I made it possible. And this is the message I really want to transfer to people out there. Things does not have to be perfect for them to seem achievable. Your life is not going to be perfect. That doesn't mean you can make anything out of it. You going through so many struggles, unfortunate things that happen to you, it can look not perfect because it's not perfect actually, but that doesn't mean there's nothing you can do about it. You can't change the situation, or you are the worst person that existed because now you actually were born in this part of the world. These things happen to you. These things are not perfect, but everything not perfect makes us humans. And I think this is how my podcast is birthing me. And I'm happy. I'm happy that the podcast is going through me, and I'm going through the podcast before ever I get out there in front of people, because I don't want to now be out here in front of people and be like, I'm helping you. It's like I'm struggling from what I'm helping you. I should know. And my struggles should be different. I don't think I should be struggling with the things I'm helping people about, because it might seem like, girl, what's going on? I understand that I want to help people, but at least let me know what I am doing. Because at some point it was like I don't know what I'm doing. It's like I'm trying to help people to understand that everything is not perfect, and these things are not perfect, makes us humans. But it seems like I'm trying to be perfect. I'm trying to do the opposite. And like, what are you trying to go tell people now? What are you about then? So there was this whole confusion, and I really knew there was something going on. I trusted my instincts like that, but I was really not certain, like, where is it from? What is it about? But I'm doing my best. What can it be? But now I know. And honestly, I'm going to start the podcast, not because I am perfect, but because I am not perfect. But there are so many things that I have learned when it comes to not being perfect and learning gradually how to be this human being that we are. There's so much that we can learn, and I can help people learn about being a human being, no matter the consequences that you've actually went through in life, no matter the situation, no matter the country you were born in, no matter the school you went to, no matter all the guys you dated, no matter you being a virgin or not. If it's not perfect, that means you're a human, and if you're a human, there's so many other things that you can do about your life that your life can really get better. And it doesn't mean that because you can do something about your life for your life to get better, meaning that you're not going to have all these same things as struggles, challenges. You're still going to have them, but it's all about the mindset, how you think, how you act, how you respond to life. I feel like that's the message and the energy I want to make people have. Like that's the message I want to transfer, the information I want to leave people with. That it doesn't matter your circumstances, your situation, what you've been through, what you're going through. You are a human, so that means you have all the ability. You are capable. to be beyond that situation, to be on top, in control, in your mind, in the way you act, in the way you see things. But of course, how can you be in control in the way you act, in your mind, the way you see things, if you don't have the positive informations to pivot your mind? Because at the end of the day, you learn how to change your life, right? So if you're learning how to change your life, you're going to school now learning things that can help you to pass the exam, things like this. For you to achieve certain things, you have to learn. For you to write that exam and get that 100, if you never really studied, like, how can you now go and deliver? So even for you to have this happy life that you feel like you want, you have to learn what it means to have a happy life, what happy life looks like from different angles. Choose what can work for you, and that's what you can live by. That's what life is about. Things doesn't have to be laid on the platter and then given to you. But that's why the podcast is here, to help you walk the path, give you the information you need, bring you the highlights, the reels, the vlogs that you need, that's necessary for you to get to upstand, pivot, move, shape your life. That's what my podcast is going to be about. And I am excited that I'm at a point where I'm getting myself together. This feels so good. This feels so me. I'm happy. So that's it. Thank you guys very much for being part of today's episode. My name is Lee and I was your host. I love to say this. I was your host, and I pray you'll be here again for the next episode. Please take care of yourself. Take care of your mental state. Take care of what you feed your mind with. Take care of your circle, the people you encourage in your circle, because guess what? These people have a way of influencing your life. The way you think, that's how they influence your life. The way you see yourself, the way you see people around you, the way you see opportunities, the way you see hard work. These people have a whole lot to do. So you have to take care of like your circle and who is whatever to be your friend or to take advice from and all that stuff. Be mindful, okay? That's not a threat. But yeah, I really want you to be at your best, because everything happens here, and if fear is not in place, then yeah, a whole lot can go wrong, and we don't want that. Yeah, so at the end of the day, I loved today's episode. I loved today's conversation. I felt like I gave myself the opportunity to really pour out and help myself as well. I do believe I'll love listening to this podcast again myself and see the gems that I can receive for myself. I love to learn from myself all the time. Like, yeah, it's good. It's nice that we get into a place where I can really get this connection with you guys. So thank you so much. Feel free to share this video to wherever you feel like someone can reach this particular video and then come to this community and have more of this information that we talk about here, more of the knowledge that we spread here. So yeah, peace out. Thank you so much. Have a nice day. Bye.